Good morning, Evergreen, or good afternoon, depending on what time you guys are watching this in your class. Hey, Dr. T, welcome back. Welcome back. Winter break. It seemed like it came and went in one day, but hopefully you guys are back and relaxed and feeling good and ready for the second half of the school year. It actually appears that we're going to get some snow this week, and crazy as it sounds, I'm actually excited for a little bit of snow. How about you? So in today's counselor lesson, I want to talk to you about what it means to be rude. Do you guys know what it means to be rude? Raise your hand. What does it mean to be rude? Do you know any rude people? Are you ever a rude person? Sometimes people don't even realize they're being rude. Sometimes they think they're being funny, or they think they're being cute, or they're making their friends laugh. But often they're hurting someone else's feelings and they're being rude, either with the words that they say or the actions that they're exhibiting or the things that they do that can come across as very rude. So we're going to read a story today about being rude. Hopefully you are not a rude individual. Now, before I start, I want to read a note to parents about being rude. At the core of all rude behavior is the perpetrator's belief that he or she is better than others. This misguided superiority complex, I know that's a big word for elementary. Superiority means thinking you are above or better than someone else. Complex often leads to feelings of entitlement. Entitlement means you feel like you're owed something, or someone owes you a favor, or owes you some money, or has to do something for you just because it's you. Rude people think they should be first. Rude people think they should have the best or the most. Rude people want to have their own way all the time. Rude people need to be the center of attention. Does this sound like anybody in your classroom? Look to your left. Look to your right. Are any of your classmates ever being rude? Or are your classmates looking at you because you're the one who's being rude to them sometimes? No one likes to be around a rude person. This is the main reason parents do not want their children to be rude. They do not want their children to be disliked or ostracized by others. Ostracized means when a group of people decide that they don't want to be around you, so they won't let you play, they won't let you come around, they won't let you be a part of. Being rude can also hurt people's feelings. The purpose of this book is to help steer children away from rude behavior. By discussing this book with your child, you can help him or her behave in ways that garner positive rather than negative feelings from others. If someone responds honestly to your child's rude behavior, you should not intervene. By allowing your child to suffer the consequences of his or her actions, you will allow him or her to learn what behavior is acceptable and what behavior is not acceptable. So now we're going to read a book about being rude. This book is about Eric and his friends Lenny and Patty. Reading about Eric and his friends can help you understand and deal with being rude. I'm not getting off this swing until I'm good and ready. Lay sigh. He sees other people want to use the swing, but he's just going to be rude for no reason. You're being rude when you treat other people as if they are not as important as you are. We've been waiting a long time to have our turn on the swing. Well, my turn isn't over until I say so. Rude. He's not sharing the swing. He's being mean. He's not even really swinging on the swing. He's just choosing to be rude. You are being rude when you insist on being first. I'm getting my drink of water first. Does this look like anyone out in the hallway when you guys are lined up at the restroom and you come out of the restroom and you guys are fighting to use the water fountain? Are any of you being rude like this? Anybody? You are being rude when you insist on having the best for yourself. I'm taking this one because it's the best. You know anyone like that? You guys play with anyone like that? They always want the best stuff for themselves. They always want to go first. Me, 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 me. I. Only worried about self. You know anyone like that? You're being rude when you insist on having the most for yourself. I'm hungry. Notice what he did there. Now he already has a cupcake, but he's going to go grab the other remaining cupcakes, even though other people want a cupcake. Is that cool? Seems pretty rude to me. You're being rude when you insist that everyone notice you and no one else. This is called wanting to be the star of the show all the time. Sometimes you got to let your brother, your sister, your friends, your classmates, whomever, go first. Be the star. Get the attention. You can't get the attention all the time. Hey, everyone, look at me. Showing off. What do you think those 3 kids at the playground under the monkey bars are thinking right now? Probably won't end good for this guy. You're being rude when you insist on having your own way all the time. Now, I must admit, I do see this sometimes at Evergreen. And hopefully by the time you leave Evergreen, you're no longer like that. None of us can have our way all the time, even though we want to. I know I'd like to have my way all the time, but it doesn't work like that. Sometimes other people have to win. Other people have to go first. Other people have to get called on in class. Other people get to get the answer. You gotta take turns. I want the merry-go-round to go around the other way. Now see, that doesn't even make sense. People are playing on the merry-go-round, playing on it correctly, and here this guy comes. First of all, he just wants to yell and scream and tell people to do things the wrong way. Then he's just trying to change everything because he wants it. That's pretty rude. Anybody like that at recess? When you are being rude, you're being selfish and unkind. Did you hear me? You're being selfish and unkind. Other people might not want to be with you when you are being rude. I know personally. If someone is consistently rude, I choose not to be around them. I want no parts. I'm not going to keep letting them be rude to me. Hey, where are you going? We're not finished playing. That's because you're rude and you're not fun to be around. See, everybody was at the playground having a good time. Then he showed up, starting his stuff, being mean, being rude, telling other people what to do. And you see what happened? They left. Now he's at the playground by himself because he was rude. Try not to be rude. Do not insist on being first. Wait patiently for your turn. I'm going to say that again. Try not to be rude. Do not insist on being first. You don't have to be first. This makes me think of something. When you guys are lining up for recess or to go to lunch or to go to one of your specials, why is there so much arguing about where people are in the line? If you're first in the line, middle of the line, or last in the line, isn't the whole line going to the same place? So does it really matter? Does it really matter? You don't have to always be first. Okay, back to the book. Are you next in line? I want a chocolate bar. I want a chocolate bar too. They look excited to get some ice cream. But look at that guy in the background. Wonder what he's up to. Try not to be rude. Do not insist on having the best for yourself. I only have 2 left. 1 chocolate and 1 strawberry. You choose the one you want. Now, you notice how these 2 are getting along? He told his friend, no, you choose first. He didn't say, I'm going first. He said, you choose first. That's a good friend. He's choosing not to be rude. He's putting others in front of himself. It cannot always just be you, what you want. Try not to be rude. Do not insist on having the most for yourself. I'll take one and you can have two. Gee, thanks. Now notice how earlier in the book, the other guy took all the cupcakes for himself. That's pretty rude. In this scene, there's 3 cookies left. Notice he took one and told his friend, you can have the other 2. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm pretty greedy and I love chocolate chip cookies. So I really admire this behavior to tell his friend, no, you take 2, I'll take 1. Try not to be rude. Do not insist that everyone notice you and no one else. He plays very well, doesn't he? See, everybody's now getting along, giving compliments, letting others go first, not always having to be the center of attention, not making everything about them. Try not to be rude. Do not insist on having your own way all the time. Do you guys know anybody like that? Raise your hand if you know anybody like that. They want to have their way all the time. At recess, on the school bus, in the classroom, getting in line, going to the cafeteria, in gym class. They always want to try to be first. It's not cool. Sometimes you got to let your classmates go first. What shall we do today? Why don't you decide? I got to choose yesterday. Let's play a game of cat and mouse. Now, this I like. Sometimes when I watch you guys at recess, I see sometimes people aren't always taking turns or letting their friend make the choice of what game they're going to play that day. If I got to make the choice yesterday, then you should get to make the choice today. That's called taking turns. It would be rude of me to always want to be the one who made the choice of what game we're going to play. Avoid being rude by doing these things. Avoid saying anything that would hurt anyone. Avoid breaking or ruining anyone's things. Avoid talking while other people are talking. Oh, that's a big one. I'm going to say it again. Avoid talking while other people are talking, especially your teachers. Avoid being noisy around people who need to have quiet. What do you guys see there? Do you think they should be running through the room yelling? Should they be running through the room, jumping up and down? Should they get out a whistle and blow it real loud, or turn the TV on real loud, or play their video game real loud? Do you notice who is sleeping? Do you think it would be rude to be loud at that moment? You gotta consider others. It is important to treat other people the way you want to be treated. If you do not want people to be rude to you, you must not be rude to them. Let me say that one more time. Are you listening, Evergreen? If you do not want people to be rude to you, you must not be rude to them. Notice how these two have gotten along. They've treated each other with respect. They've taken turns. They've not made it just about themselves. They've listened to each other. It cannot always be about you. The end. Evergreen. We read this today because at Evergreen, we're always trying to be ever kind. And if you're being ever kind, you have to be on your best behavior to try not to be rude. So think about how you're talking to your classmates, how you're treating your classmates. When it's time to pick a game or we're at recess, you can't always be the person who chooses what we're doing. You can't always be the quarterback or always go first or always answer the question or always get called on when you raise your hand. You have to take turns. And you can't be upset when it's not your turn. It's just not your turn. It's okay. So, evergreen, we are ever kind, and we're not going to be rude. Stay well, and I'll see you next week. Take care.